This show is part of the M4D Podcast Network.
Hello, this is Made for Disney, the happiest podcast to ever sail the Seven Seas Lagoon. I'm Erin.
I'm Lily.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Michelle.
Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Made for Disney, the happiest podcast to ever sail the Seven Seas Lagoon. I'm Erin and I'll be your captain today. Joining me, I have Sean, our navigator.
Hello.
Michelle, our engineer.
Hi.
And you may notice we are a first mate short, but she'll be back for the next episode, most likely, and we're going to make do today. So I think first off, we're going to be going over some news.
Okay, the first bit of news I want to bring up today is that our own Lily has started a new podcast called Explore the Vault with Lily. On it, she's going to review Disney Channel movies and more.
And more.
That's going to start, release this Wednesday.
This Wednesday, which is, I'm not sure what the date is.
No, I do not either. But
The 9th.
Second
The 9th.
week in May.
And just the opposite. She'll release the same week we release this show, which is just the opposite of the release of your show.
Masquerades.
Masquerades. So
Disney Book Club, if you want to check it out.
we're going to have 3 podcasts all together in the family until Mom decides her own podcast.
She's just going to be talking about kittens.
The Kitten Podcast. But like I said, I know Lily wanted to bring this up today, but she couldn't be with us today.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it for her. Okay, our second piece of news.
What yet?
This is really for Erin to discuss. She wants to bring up about the new characters being added to Magic Kingdom.
Not Magic Kingdom.
I'm sorry, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, and the reason, it was announced on, Earth Day, which of course it was, Animal Kingdom's 20th anniversary this year. So, which is good, because I always forget how old Animal Kingdom is constantly.
It doesn't seem that old to me, so.
Older than me.
Yes, older than you.
Pretty much since scientists have, figured out dinosaurs and birds are, very closely connected. Disney was like, we got some birds and a dinosaur place. Let's throw some characters over there. Now they're going to be having Donald's Dino-Bash over at, Dinoland USA with some different characters. Obviously, you have Donald, I think you have Daisy, you have Chip and Dale dressed as dinosaurs for some reason. You got Scrooge McDuck, you have Launchpad McQuack, which I don't think has been in the park at all. I think Daisy might be over there too.
And Donald and Daisy are supposed to be together.
Yeah, you can also, here we go, it also says Goofy and Pluto, and I think that's it, but they're adding in some new cool character meet and greets, which I'm sure will be popular.
Yep.
Add a reason for people to go into Dinoland, even because most people not a huge fan of Dinoland. I personally like it.
Yeah,
I just like kitsch.
Yeah, and that's what it's designed
dinosaurs.
for. Like it says, to celebrate Donald's unexpected discovery that his ancestors were descendants of dinosaurs.
Yep.
So, I think it's going to help give that side of the park more action.
Yeah.
Because you have Pandora going on one side of the park, and it just gives that area some more action.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to say, Mom?
Nope.
Nope.
Sounds good to me.
You're not itching to go meet Launchpad McQuack, which is arguably one of the most fun names to say, I found out.
It'll be fun when we go. But
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's probably the one character y'all never seen. Because
Yeah.
you don't really
we'll
see him
have to
anywhere.
wait in line.
Was he on DuckTales, or was
Yes.
that
Yes, he was.
the other one?
He's on DuckTales.
DuckTales.
I always liked Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers more, but that's because they had Baloo.
Yep.
Sounds like we're getting into Lily's podcast now.
It is now.
That was a Disney Channel original show, not a Disney Channel original movie. So
Well, she still might cover
That's
it.
her and more.
technically,
That's
we did the first Disney Channel original movie on this podcast.
Which was?
Twilight Zone.
Was that their first movie?
Yeah, it was their first one.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
Go check out that podcast. That's from last October.
yeah. I'm sure Lily's podcast though is going to be much better than us talking about that one.
Yeah. That was at the beginning.
Okay, and I think that's all I really have to say. I'm sure they'll have some cool merch out once that happens, but besides that, just a few new character meet and greets.
Okay.
Alright, what's the next thing, Dad?
The next thing I think we need to go over is something we haven't really discussed at all, is the gondola system they're putting in.
The gondola.
The gondola.
Thank you. I cannot say that word correctly for
Gondola.
anything.
Gondola is not gondola. It's Nudola.
But basically, you have 2 pickup points. One's going to be at Pop Century and Art of Animations around the
Whoop, whoop.
bridge area. And the other one's going to be at Disney Caribbean Beach And I'm still confusing how it's going to work as far as...
Isn't there also going to be one, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but isn't there also going to be one at the, the hotel they're still building, the Riviera?
That'd be Park Caribbean Beach.
Okay, it is Park Caribbean Beach?
Yes,
okay,
it is,
I always
yes.
get so confused in that area. It's huge.
Yes, that's very well spread out the resort. We stayed there several times. But it has several stations, and I assume the stations are going to be transfer points and exit. You have a station at Hollywood Studios and a station over by the International Gateway at Epcot.
Yeah.
So assume you get on that Pop Century. I assume there's a transfer station in the middle. So I assume you'll be able to either transfer that point or something so you can go on over to Epcot.
I guess you would have to transfer, or would they? Because with how the map looks on it, it doesn't look like there's so many individual like direct transits.
Yeah, it didn't look individual to me, but I haven't seen I've seen plenty of pictures online of all the towers going up. There are a lot of towers going up.
I bet.
You can see them online. What's going to be neat about the Epcot one is that when you come into Epcot, you go come out basically right over the new France area.
The Ratatouille?
Ratatouille. So you actually come in that back side.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually will be dressed at the back of France, which nobody really sees. So it looks more presentable.
Yeah.
And then you actually going over to International Gateway and coming through that gate.
They're going to have to really do much there.
Yeah, because
That's a small entrance area.
it is. Now, I'll give you the numbers that I got off the site. You figure one bus load is equal to about 60 to 70 people.
Mm-hmm.
And the gondola should take that it should take 3 bus loads every 5 minutes. So the capacity is rumored to be roughly 4,000 to 5,000 people per hour.
How fast
way.
are these things?
I don't know if it's a matter of how fast they are or there's how many they can hold.
And how quickly
they are on the... So unlike a bus, a bus holds like 60 to 70 people. But you get one bus every half hour, 15 minutes, whatever. Well, if these be one after another...
Yeah, it's just
kind of... after, probably a couple of minutes, just a little bit of time in between.
Yeah. But as a person who gets stressed out whenever the monorail stops, I'm like, about the whole gondola system. Personally riding it.
So it says they'll be able to take up to 40 buses worth of people each hour to Epcot and 40 buses worth of people to Disney Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I just don't see that happening. They're already packed whenever a bus comes as it is.
Yeah.
And now they're going to multiply that by what? How many percent? I mean,
they're
going to really have to up the staff and the area.
Well, the one thing is, too, you only have those 2 places. So do they really need 40 or 50 people per hour? 40 or 50 buses per hour coming from Caribbean Beach.
Yeah.
To Hollywood Studios. That seems like a lot.
It does.
I mean, International Gateway doesn't have buses normally coming there, do they?
No.
They just have people walking in from the boardwalk in that area.
Yeah, you get
they're really going to...
Yeah, they got that entry level. I think the one Disney Hollywood Studios can drop you off on the outside of the entrance.
Yeah, I know where
it's just got the one entrance.
Yeah.
You've seen the entrance area?
Mm-hmm, because I remember because they already had, the walls up and were doing, clearing construction back then. Yeah, but, over at International Gateway, that has to be only, maybe 5% of the people that go into Epcot could use that gateway.
Well, it's probably more than that, because a lot of people that walk over from the Beach
boardwalk.
Club and Boardwalk, they walk in that gate.
But how many people are going there per day at that resort?
And how many people come from the studios by boat? And that they get in that way, too, right?
Yeah. Not a lot, I would imagine.
Not
from yeah, okay, yeah, you can take a boat that way.
Mm-hmm. The friendship boats.
Yeah, one of the friendship boats. I do not know what type of people, how many they can transfer that way.
I understand they're trying to help get more transportation in there because they're trying to do all that stuff with Epcot, and obviously we're about to get Toy Story Land and we're about to get Star Wars Land.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much it's really going to help with stuff. And I think you're also just going to get people that are just riding the gondola system.
Yeah, you probably got to just do the circle and come back. I think it's probably going to be a really neat transportation system, but I'll really start counting out once they get to more resorts.
Yeah.
So you can actually take from more resorts to more locations. And I understand it's supposed to be a phase 2 and a phase 3 with this, but of course we have no idea what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Or how long it will take to get till they get to a phase 2 or a phase 3. But right now it's only really served 2 resorts.
Yeah.
So it's not really a whole lot of extra. Except, yeah, they can probably empty out the whole hotel and transfer the whole hotel in a couple of hours. But they're not all going to that particular park. Mm-hmm. Or those two particular parks.
Yeah.
But I think if you're staying there and you can use it, I think it's pretty neat. During the main hours, that early extra magic hour in the morning where everybody's going at one time.
Well, I mean, wait.
Probably quite a backup, and probably if you stand to the very end.
I have a question.
Okay.
International Gateway doesn't open as soon as the other part, the main gate.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yes. They just make you go straight through the Canada area and straight on out. You
Really?
can't go around to Mexico, and you can't go around to Mexico and the other countries that are to the right. You have to go just straight down. They have people flagging you which way to go the whole way.
Well,
Yeah.
they're definitely going to have some more flagging people.
Yeah, because we've been there when we stayed at Beach Club that time.
Mm-hmm.
We walked over.
Did we? I can't.
Yeah.
That was a while back.
Yeah, that was a
Hard
good
for
while
me to
back. But
remember.
yeah. But like I said, it just took you in. You could enter the park, but you just had to go straight through. So we went straight through England, right into the Future World area
Mm-hmm.
for all the other rides. Because they all look the first thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if you go in there for like a breakfast at, I'm going to say this wrong.
Norway.
Yeah, Norway. Thank you. I'm going to say Norway. If you can go in that gate to go to Norway, if there's somebody
I'd imagine it would,
Yeah, I
because they
think you
scan
can,
your
yeah.
Yeah,
band.
okay. So it'd be good for things like that. All right.
All right.
Anything else to say about that one?
No, it'll be interesting to see when it happens.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's all we really have to say about the gondola system at the moment. We got some other news to go over. Headed back to Animal Kingdom, actually. They just had 2 new baby zebras born. It looks like April 26th and May 1st. We had 2 new Grevies? It's Grevy. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. Zebras were born. Apparently there's only 2,500 remaining in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, that's extremely endangered. And they'll be able to find them over at Gorilla Falls in a few months, probably, once they get a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be able to check out some new babies.
That's
Cool.
good.
I will say they're not as cute as the tigers, but I still haven't been able to see the tigers. I want to see them so bad, but every time we went, it'd be the wrong time.
Yep.
They'll be grandparents before you see them.
Probably.
I'll be a grandparent before I see the tigers.
We'll see him probably this January again.
We could just go down there.
Oh,
Drive
good.
down. We could just drive down.
Good.
Take a helicopter, fly around, because we don't have tickets.
Well, get tickets. They sell them to everybody. All right. I also want to bring up that this year, after 35 years, so I think it's one of Disney's longest running events, they decided to cancel the Night of Joy celebration, which is a Christian music event they've had. It's like a weekend event.
That I didn't know was happening till it got canceled.
No, I've heard of it. We've never been to it. They gave no official reason why, but everybody's assuming just because all the other events they have going on down there now, there's just
Yeah.
not time for it. It's just not worth the hassle. And supposedly Universal has a similar event they do
Mm-hmm.
that's been picking up in popularity, so I guess they decided to cut some loose, let them pick it up.
Yeah, that
go
makes
forth from
sense.
there. So,
They have so many different things running all the time.
yes, they do.
Alrighty, so let's go over all the social media stuff real quick. First off, we have our Facebook page, Made for Disney, our Twitter, Made for Disney, our Instagram, Made for Disney, the podcast. We have our website, madefordisney.com. Feel free to send us an email with comments, questions, an episode idea, whatever you got over at madefordisney@gmail.com. And I think that's all of the social media. Make sure to check out Lily's podcast. That'll be coming out Wednesday, which is Explore the Vault with Lily, and it has all the social media there. We'll post something on our social media to help you find it. And that's all I gotta say about social medias.
Okay. Let's take a trip over to Toy Story Land. So I think everybody pretty much knows now that Toy Story Land is going to be open June 30th at Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the Slinky Dog ride.
Coaster.
Coaster. It's supposed to be a really nice coaster. Should have a good long length to it. I understand it's actually going to be almost like 2 coasters in one, that at one point it'll basically come to a stop, back up, and then take off again. So that should be interesting.
Alright.
Almost like one in a toy car. Kind of you put on the floor and pull back to wind.
Get your Hot Wheels.
There you go. You also have that's the Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah. And there's some bumper cars, right?
Basically, but let's go over the Slinky Dog Dash a little bit.
Okay.
Disney describes as Andy assembles his awesome coaster kit, and Slinky Dog is ready to take it for a wild ride on a crazy coaster, one that gives you a glimpse of all the Toy Story Land has to offer. Come along as Slinky Dog bends and twists his coils around curves, hills, bridges, and drops. Makes no mistake, this is one wacky attraction that's fun for the entire family. I think that's been a good ride.
Okay.
Then the second ride you're talking about is actually the Alien Swirling Saucers. It's a little bit different. The aliens have powered up their flying saucers to take you on a Disney ride through space. Hang on tight as your toy rocket ride takes off, all while Space Electronica provides an out-of-this-world beat. And if you're really lucky, you might get chosen by the Claw. Ooh. Not sure the ooh, yeah. That's okay. That makes more sense now when y'all did it.
Claw. Is it more of like one of those tilt 'em, twirl 'em things?
It's a twirl ride. You have the alien coaster, and then you're basically hooked to it. The way it looks like you're in a little cart behind it, and it swings you around. It's supposed to be real similar to a ride they have in California at the
Maters.
Yeah, Maters.
Okay.
In California, it's supposed to be real similar to that, from what I understand.
Okay, that looks fun. It's one of those twirl 'em rides. I like twirl 'ems.
I'm not sure what the claw portion has. What they're talking about as far as that goes.
Well, they pick up one car and then
throws them off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ejects you from the park.
Ooh.
Then of course, Toy Story Mania.
Story Mania.
It's going to be reopened by that point. You'll actually enter it through Toy Story Land instead of the entrance we're used to now from the front side.
Yeah.
Pixar Street or whatever it's called.
Pixar Place.
Pixar Place. Thank you.
Is it closed yet? It's closed yet, right?
They're limiting the entrance to still go through the exit, from what I understand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think they're down to maybe 1, maybe 2 tracks. I know they're not running all 3 tracks right now.
Oh, Lord, that must be a terrible line.
Yeah, I know right now you can't get fast passes for it, from what I understand.
Ugh.
So that'll be open as well again. I think what's going to make this place kind of a nightmare, at least when it first opens, unless you're able to get in early, will be the low amount of people this area's going to be able to handle.
It's a small area.
Well, it's 11 acres, so I mean, that's a good bit of room. But
it's small for Disney.
Yeah, small for Disney. But you have the roller coaster, which would be a great ride, I think. But it only handles, I stand, about 1,500 people an hour.
Ooh.
And the same for the other ride, the
Twist 'em Twirl 'ems.
Twist 'em Twirl 'ems type ride.
Ooh. That's bad when it's just one and not one.
Yeah, so that's going to be quite interesting to see how quick people are able to get through that land and how it's going to kind of congest, I think. That'd be a really neat land to be in.
Yeah, I thought there was a third ride. Did I just imagine they had some kind of drop ride?
Yeah, you must imagine that.
I thought it was like green.
Maybe you're imagineering.
I'm imagineering. I think that might be a ride that they have in like Japan. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe.
Because I think they have like a green soldier like drop 'em.
Oh.
Like one of those like fair rides that it like goes up and then it just drops.
Yeah, that may be. Somebody can tell us, I hope.
Yeah, I think it's in Japan or China or something like that.
We're going to get another new food place out of it. It's going to be Woody's Lunchbox.
Woody's Lunchbox.
And in case you didn't know, this whole area, when you walk in the area, you're supposed to be shrunk down to the size of a toy.
You're in Andy's backyard.
You're in Andy's backyard. And so it's actually be a lunchbox. We're going to go resemble. But it has some good food there. You can't tell you a lot about it. I think it just released information on the food they had. I think it just released it last week, but I can't remember what they were.
I can't imagine it'll be anything too special. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying it's probably like your
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches,
hot dogs, burgers, your regular kind of foods, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
grilled cheese.
They're getting pretty creative with their food samples lately. And so they'll probably come something like Mom was talking about, probably a twist on all those type of basic lunch foods.
Yeah.
When you're a small kid going to school. They're supposed to have, you're supposed to get to see the 3 of them. That'd be Buzz Lightyear, Woody, and what's the girl's name?
Jessie.
But you'll see them, and then going to be releasing extra magic hours for that area.
Yeah.
So if you're staying on property, you'll be able to get in early or stay late.
Mm-hmm.
They have been scheduling those for the summer.
How much do you think it's going to increase attendance at this point? Because I'm thinking that, like, most of your families that can only go, like, every couple years or something like that are going to be waiting for Star Wars Land to open up. So how much do you think this is going to affect attendance?
I believe it would give it a pretty good kick right off the bat.
Yeah.
And around that whole time. Because, I mean, you got people just want to be the first.
I wonder if it'll affect attendance more than the opening of Toy Story Midway Mania affected attendance.
Yeah, because you remember that ride state is still popular.
It's still popular. I used to have to run from opening. You get there early and then you have to book it to the Fast Pass machine is what I had to do back in the day.
And one thing they're going to be doing here is Alien Swinging Saucer, the Slinky Dog Dash, with both the 2 new rides, and the Toy Story Mania, Midway Mania ride. They're all going to be Tier 1 rides, which means you can only select one from that list.
Slinky Dog.
Okay, we're not making them right now, but that's probably what some people will pick.
Yeah. And
then you'll be able to pick 2 from the Tier 2 list, which is pretty much everything else in the park.
Yeah. Do they even have a Tier 3? And no, I guess not.
Yeah, they don't have a Tier 3 list. Some of them probably should be a Tier 3 list, but
most of the shows.
But of course, they'll all considered Tier 2. And a lot of things that were Tier 1 will be moving to Tier 2.
Well, Rock and Roll, because Rock and Roll used to be... Yeah. Rock and Roll and Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror were. And I know Beauty and the Beast is currently considered a tier 1.
Really?
Phantasmic's considered a tier 1.
I get Phantasmic.
And like I said, Rock and Roller Coaster was. Dog will be considered tier 2 after this.
Wow.
And once Star Wars Land open, I don't know what they're going to do.
Maybe we'll have the 3rd tier.
Maybe at that point.
Tier infinity and beyond.
Probably. Because it is everybody's going to want to go to Star Wars Land. That's going to be the big draw for that season, which will not be till sometime 2019.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm sure it's going to be cool, but I know with how much people want to go there, I don't want to go till 2021. How crowded it's going to be is already stressing me out in advance.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Sit here and think about it, I'm the same way, but I'm sure once it comes down to it and they say it's open, which hopefully open in the summertime, which we tend not to go in the summertime anyway, because I definitely don't want to fight those crowds and be 95 degrees all day long. Plus
95?
Yeah, sorry. 95 would be a break there in the summertime, but
95 and the Floridians bring out the parkas.
Yeah. So I do not want to be there for that. But hopefully during the lower part of the season, it'll still be monstrously crowded, but it'll be something more that we can deal with.
I'll just wait till after I graduate college, then we can go.
We'll tell you about it. No, we'll go before then. We'll tell you about it.
We'll tell you all about it.
We'll tell you which rides to go to. That's that.
Alright, nothing else in Toy Story Land? I guess they don't have any shops there since they have to take away sweet spells from me.
I'm sure they're
devastating blow to Aaron Malone.
I'm sure they've got some shops. I do not know what they are. If they are going to be there, I haven't seen them. Look at the pictures. I know they're supposed to be, they probably have already by now added the full model to the One Man's Dream.
Of the park?
Yes.
Wasn't that already there?
They had a portion of there last time we were there, but it wasn't the full model. I take it back. I think it was the full model there. It was a Star Wars Land. They only had a partial.
Yeah.
I think I had them confused. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because it wasn't, it's not a huge area, and I know I've seen some kind of display of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big area. 11 acres, ain't it?
How big? Do you know off the top of your head relatively how big Avatar?
I think it's similar to that, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because, Avatar Land sounds really big, but you get there and it's not that big.
Yeah, Avatar Land isn't that big.
When you're used to Disney, 11 acres ain't that big.
I'm not sure how much of that area is actually
walkable.
Walkable, yeah, exactly. And how much of that area is, behind the scenes.
Accessible to guests.
Yeah.
Well, that's with how Toy Story Land's set up. I imagine that most of it's more accessible because with a coaster and from how I think the Twirl-em alien whatevers are pretty much just open. There's not really a behind the scenes to it too much.
I don't think we'll have much of a behind the scenes at all.
Except for
it is covered. That's gonna be nice about that one. So if you have the afternoon showers,
yeah, they would have to cover it in Florida.
The coaster not covered.
Yeah,
the loading unloading area is.
That'll be cool.
That's pretty much all we have on that.
Yeah, and then we know nothing of what they'll be adding to Epcot with the Guardians coaster yet, which I'm excited about.
There was some small updates on it, but nothing really.
Nothing really.
And there's been no set date for opening. I've heard it might be as late as 2020 or later.
Is there an idea on the Ratatouille one? Because I feel like that should be a lot quicker due to the fact they've made it already.
I think they just broke ground on that ride.
Did they?
That's what I heard, but I haven't seen pictures yet.
Yeah, well, I've seen pictures of the one in France, so and I'm sure it's going to be pretty much just an exact clone. Yeah,
the only difference I heard there is the one in France you empty out into a restaurant, and here the restaurant didn't want that interfering with it because it's already a very crowded restaurant.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure how the unloading portion will work. Probably to a gift shop instead.
Probably to the gift shop. Yeah. There is a gift shop right there with it's not a restaurant per se, but there's kind of like a cafeteria almost. I don't know.
That's the restaurant, this one you like, right?
Yeah, where you can go and you can get they have a bunch of pastries and stuff, but then they also have ham and cheese croissants, which are really good. That's over where it's supposed to be, right?
It's supposed to be back kind of behind, the main building will be behind it. I think that's what the entrance will be in behind it. Where you come out at, I do not know.
Are they putting it in Impressions to France?
No.
No, we're keeping that still?
I understand. I think we're keeping that.
Okay. That's one of the worst shows, too. I'm just putting it out there.
I don't think we've ever seen it.
I have. Twice.
Have we ever seen that ride? That movie?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I remember it was boring.
Y'all were never into watching the movie, so we just skipped all that.
No, but our grandparents were.
Yeah.
So I've seen all of them. Because we don't have any other news, I don't believe.
That does it.
Okay, so real quick, just a reminder that Lily's new podcast, Explore the Vault with Lily, coming out Wednesday, even though she's not here to Promote it. Thank you. I knew it was a P, could not figure out the rest of the word. Talk about it at all, so check it out then. We'll post some stuff about it on our social medias. Our Facebook page is Made for Disney. Our Twitter, Made for Disney. Instagram, Made for Disney the podcast. Our website, madefordisney.com. Our email, madefordisney@gmail.com.
And one final note about Lily's podcast, we'll probably put the original the first episode up Wednesday, or probably actually before that, and we'll probably let it sit for at least 2 weeks, and then we'll start the every 2 week rotation. And it'll come out just the opposite weeks your show does, which is Masquerades.
Masquerades, Disney Book Club. If you like Kingdom Keepers or want to figure out what Kingdom Keepers is, check it out. It's every other Wednesday, so when you're listening to this, it'll be next week. You go to masquerades.com. Yeah. Okay.
And you'll soon be able to go to explorethevault.com for Lily's show. But that's not up yet.
Yeah. We'll be posting stuff about that on the different social medias.
Correct.
I think that's all I have to say. So, all that's left is to thank you, as always, for joining us here on Made for Disney, the happiest podcast to ever sail the Seven Seas Lagoon. Bye!
Not sure the